guys, Samantha from JSM Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you a fun way to make some polymer clay beads. So I've got some Primo translucent here, and then I've picked out 3 different colours, and these are all run out on the same setting, which is the thickest setting on my pasta machine. And so I've got Peacock Pearl, Ultramarine Blue and Purple, and then just regular translucent. And now you don't have to be specific with these colours, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cutter and I'm going to cut out a circle of each, and this is just to make it easier to measure the colour recipe. You can use any cutter you want, but I'm just going to be using a circle today. And so it's going to be one colour to, I'd say probably about 4 translucent. If I can get it, I might only do 3, we'll see. And you don't have to be super specific with this, it's not completely necessary. There we go, I can get 4 up. So it's one of the colours that you've chosen to 4 parts of the translucent. So you just stack 4 of the translucent, pop that onto the colour, like so. And then you'll mix up each of those colours separately from one another, and you should end up with 3 colours. Okay, and there we go. And it shouldn't change much from the original colours. The only difference now is that they're going to have a slight translucent tint to them. I also have rolled out some Primo Opal and some Primo White. Okay. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to be working with a polymer clay extruder. And this is what it looks like. And basically I'm just going to unscrew the one end, and you should get multiple discs with your extruder. So I'm just going to be using this little circle disc. Don't screw it onto the end just yet, put that to the side, and you want to unwind this end like so, and you'll see that in there goes down. So just do that. Okay, so I've popped that off to the side, and we're now going to work with our clay and put it into such a way that we can put it into the extruder. So I'll just bring over these pieces, and I have another circle cutter here. It's smaller than the other one. It just makes sure that it fits in the barrel of your extruder. And I'm going to start out by cutting out 2 white, and I'm going to stack them on top of each other. Then I'm going to grab a purple, place that on top, and let me move this out the way a little more so you can see. There you go, place the purple there. I'm going to grab a opal, place it on top, grab another purple, and I actually might stack 2 purple. Then I'll grab one of the dark blues, and again this is completely up to you. You do not need to do it the exact same way that I'm doing it. It really is completely free to your choice, so have fun with it. I'm trying to create almost like a faux Skinner blend, so most of my purple is going to be at the beginning here, and then I'm going to start overlapping it with the dark blue. Then once I've used up all the purple, I will start overlapping the dark blue with this kind of greenish blue here. But yeah, just keep doing that. Okay, and there we go. Then I'm just going to give that a quick roll just to even it out, because I was a little bit wonky. There we go, shouldn't take much. Then pop it into your extruder, and I actually might put a few more white discs at the bottom And the reason for this is just because the bottom part usually doesn't work out, or the first part that you extrude doesn't really work out all that well generally. So you want it to be extra clay, you don't want it to be part of your pattern that you would hate to lose in some ways. So it's just an extra buffer. So I'll put that in, like so. Then screw this on. Here we go. And I might zoom this out a little so you can see. There we go. And then you're just going to twist this end in, and that's going to tighten a bit. But you'll see that it starts to come out, extrude out like so. Excuse the noise it makes. But just keep extruding like so. There we go. Screw this cap. And you'll have a little bit of clay. And you want to just kind of clean it up with a just a wet rag. But I'll do that afterwards. Excuse me. But for now, we've got a little extruded piece. Now I'm just going to roll it out because it's a little stiff after coming out the extruder. Just going to chop this end, and I'll also chop this end. You can see there how it looks. Now you're not going to be able to see much just yet. For now, it's kind of covered by white that was at the beginning. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit more. Like so. Okay. Then, I'm not sure if I'm going to make beads out of this. I'm kind of thinking about it now. Yes, I am going to be making beads out of it. So I'm going to cut that in half. And I'll cut it in half again. And that's what I'm going to work with. Then I'm going to bring over our bead blanks. Okay, and I am going to actually roll them out a little bit more. And this will uneven it a bit. The nice thing about the extruder is it kind of stretches out the colours and overlaps them, which you would not be able to get by simply rolling the colours together like so. So that is mainly why I use the extruder. So in case you're wondering why I'm rolling them out right now, I just want them to be a little thinner, and that shouldn't take too long. Okay, then I've got some little cotton beads over here, and this will just mean that they're a little lighter because I don't want it all to be clay, and it'll also make it easier to wrap the clay around. So I'm just going to pop that onto a piercing pin because it's just a lot easier to work with if it's on something that you can use. And I think it would look nice if I grabbed some gold leaf. So let me put these to the side. I'm going to go work with this one. I'm going to grab our gold leaf. And I don't want all of it, but I will take a little bit and just wrap that around the piece, and you'll see what I am doing in a minute. And this again is up to you. You can use any colour of metal leaf you want, does not have to be gold. I think gold will complement this one, but again, any you want. And if you don't want to use metal leaf, then you don't have to use that either. There we go. And I don't want too much on there, so I think that will work for now. And I'm just going to roll this across the surface to pick up any extra leaf there is. taper an end just by squishing it down. Like so. And getting it around the cotton ball can be a little tricky, so give yourself some time and leniency with this. But you'll wrap it around first like so, and this is why I highly recommend using a piercing pin to start with, because it just means that the overall process is made easier than if you were just handling the cotton ball on its own. Okay, and it does not have to fit exactly, I just want it roughly on there, and then I will squish it down into place. And we're going to be sanding this afterwards. There's going to be a fair bit of sanding after this, and that's what's going to really reveal the pattern. But spend some time pressing that all together, and don't worry about fingerprints yet, we can get rid of those in a bit. For now we just want to press that all together so it sticks, and you can even roll it on the tile or roll it in your hands to kind of smooth out that pattern a little bit, and then twist it and press down lightly so that we're going to work it off the piercing pin now. There we go. And then that's just going to make it easier to smooth out, because we're not going to be getting that cotton out, it's going to stay in there, so you don't have to worry about that. Just roll it in your hands a bit to smooth it out so that you get rid of any any wrinkles, and it will smooth it out into a circle again. Then pop that to the side. Okay, then I've got the 2 beads over here all finished up. I'm going to put those to the side, and I'm going to bring over these other 2 pieces that I have, and I want to try and make a pendant out of them. So I'm going to take them and I'm just going to join them together like so. I'm going to taper the end, and I am going to curl it in on itself like so. And all of the pattern here is hidden, but it can be revealed later on, so don't worry about the fact that it looks a bit dull at the moment. That can be fixed later on. There we go. Then I'm just going to pop that between 2 pieces of paper so that we can burnish it. Okay. Give it a good old burnish, and this is just going to smooth it all together, and we'll keep off any fingerprints while still pressing the pattern together. And you can see there how that does that. We'll do it a little more just around the sides. And then with this one, because it's a pendant, we will be able to reveal the pattern now. So I'm going to just peel it off the paper there and stick it down onto the tile, just so that it's not going to be moving around. Give it a quick little burnish. And then bring over a nice sharp blade, like so. And just shave over the surface. And the opal flake in there might make it a little tricky, but anything that doesn't go well right now we can always sand out later. But there you can see how that's revealing the pattern. And I'm not taking off a large amount of clay here, so the beads will be nice and easy to sand out later on. But yeah, just keep doing that to reveal the pattern. You can either leave it till later and sand it completely, but it's generally easier to just shave off what you can now. Okay, and that will have given us a nice preview of what the pattern will look like. I'm also going to sand the back, but I will leave that till later because it's just generally easier to sand anyway, but I did want to show you that you can use a blade to do it too. Now I'm just going to give it another burnish, and that will just smooth out any divots that our blade may have made, or that the opal clay when it got stuck against the blade may have made. Just give it a good old smooth. The more you do now, the less you'll have to do later. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to continue doing this because I don't want to use a cutter to get the shape. So I'm just smoothing off the edges to give it a light dome. Because I quite like the organic shape. And I might use a cutter just to round that off, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Okay, and I'm actually going to be using this sand dollar cutter, and I'm just going to center it like so, and then cut down. Now if there's opal flakes between the cutter and the paper, it's not going to cut through those because those are really hard plastic, so don't be surprised if it doesn't cut completely clean. They actually cut surprisingly clean. You can see there's a little bit over there, and you can just use your blade to cut that away, or you can even do that after it's baked. Oh, there we go. Okay. Then just going to bring over those little beads that we had, and I'm going to sand those. I think we'll just end up with a better result if I do that. If you really don't want to sand them and want to save on time, what you can do, and I'll just show you here, is you can use your blade to just kind of trim off these edges, and then once you've done that, just give it a roll in your hands to smooth it back out. But I'm going to sand instead because I think it will come out looking better. But actually I think we can do that. That didn't go too badly. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go over this and cut away the extras. And then I can sand a little later just to clean it up. And this will probably save on time as well. Because it doesn't take too long. You are going to have to re-roll it though, so don't worry about getting your shape in order if you plan on doing this. Okay, and here's how it looks. So it'll look quite chunky to start off with. And you can keep that effect if you want to. It's actually quite a nice way to make an organic gemstone shape. But if you want it to be nice and smooth, just roll it in your hands and that will smooth it out. And it shouldn't take too long to do that. Just check every once in a while. The softer your clay, the quicker this will be. And there we go, I've mostly smoothed that out. I'm just going to press the shape a little bit just to get it a little bit more round. You're going to have lost the holes, but that's fine. You can drill those in later on. And there we go. I'll just bring over the other one that we have. So you can see there, it's going to come out completely different each time. It actually reminds me a little bit of ocean jasper. Might play around with this a little more and see if I can make that. But yeah, there we go. Those are our two beads. And I've also kept all of the little shavings because you can use those as well. Just grab a bit of your extra clay, like for instance the end of the extruder that you rolled off. Just roll that in your hand, like so. And that might be a little small. I'm going to grab some more. Press that together. There we go. And then I'm just going to take pieces of this and I'm going to stick it on, like so, because that will look quite nice as well, and it seems silly to just put that in the waste pile, because I think it looks quite nice. So it's a nice way to utilize your scraps. But yeah, you'll just stick them all on like so. And again, this is going to come out very random each time, but it should look quite nice at the end of it. And yeah, then roll it smooth, and then we'll have another bead. Okay, and that's about it for how we're going to create our beads. You can see here, this one's going to clear up quite a bit once we've baked it because we've got a lot of translucent in there. But yeah, that's about it. Put these in the oven for a full hour at Burroughs recommended temperature, and then when they're done, we're going to do a bit of sanding just to clean them up, and yeah, then we can see how they look. Okay, so I've baked them for a full hour, and here are the beads, and this is the pendant. Now the beads, unfortunately, I missed a air bubble in this, and so when it baked, you can see the side kind of bulged out, and we ended up getting a split over here. And there's not much that I can do about it. All I could do was really open it up and remove the cotton ball so that I can reuse that. But you're not going to be able to fix the distortion. If you don't mind the distortion too much, you can run liquid clay across the seam, squish that together and bake it again. But it's really quite distorted, so I'm not going to be able to salvage this piece, unfortunately. But sometimes that happens. These two pieces, on the other hand, worked out splendidly. And this one over here, I just gave a very quick sand to clean up the edges. You can see the back, we got a little bit of the pattern revealed, but I didn't sand it too much because I kind of like how it's got a different pattern on each side. But now I'm going to varnish them, and that is simply to give them a shiny finish. You don't actually need to varnish this one specifically because it's pretty much all clay. The opal bits are trapped in there, so you don't have to worry about it. These two you do have to, because you have the metal leaf on there and it will cause trouble if you don't varnish those. Before we do that though, I am going to put eye pins in these, as I am not going to be making earrings out of them. I'm going to be making little pendants because they don't have matching pieces. So I'm just going to find the center, which will be right around here. And then I'll just take that eye pin and I will screw it in. And just be careful because sometimes you can slip. So just be careful with that because you don't want to accidentally prick yourself. There we go. That's one eye pin, and that will just make it easier to varnish because we'll have something to hold on to when we dip it. I'll do the same for that one. There we go. Simple enough. Then I'm just going to pop them both onto a piercing pin, and then we're going to coat those in our varnish. Okay, and I'm just going to be using Varathane varnish. And I'm just going to take that, and I'm actually just going to dip those straight in, like so. There we go. And then I'll just suspend them over the top, like that. And you may need to just bring over a rag later on to dab the bottom so that you don't end up with drips. But just suspend them over the top. I'll move them once they've finished dripping quite a bit to a different location and put the lid back on this. But for the moment they are going to be dropping a lot of varnish, so I like to save that. But yeah, just let those dry. They'll probably take about an hour to dry, and then we can move on to finishing our other piece. Okay, and here they are now that they have dried. So they look quite nice. Put those to the side, and for now we are going to work with this one. And you can leave it exactly the way it is, but I want to kind of give it a bit of a shine. So I'm going to be using this UV resin. Now I'm just going to give it a nice glossy coat, and you can see immediately there, hopefully the camera's picking it up, that it's going to bring out that metallic from the peacock pearl. and the opal flakes as well. Just pop that over the surface. Then just spread that around. And I think I may have put too much on there, so it might spill over the edge. Hopefully not. But just spread that around and then put that under the UV light for about 15 minutes to let it harden. And excuse my cat having a munch in the background. There we go. I'm going to put that under the UV light quickly because I think it's got quite a bit of UV resin on there and I don't want it to spill over. Okay, and here it is out of the UV light, and I'm hoping the camera's picking it up. It looks like it's a little fuzzy. Let me just zoom out a little bit, see if it can focus. There we go. Hopefully the camera's picking up the shine on that, especially the spot over here, but it really does look quite nice. So I'm now going to just drill at the top over here. I think that's where I want to drill. I'll just turn it around and make sure. Yes. I'm going to drill in the middle up here instead of one of the points, which was what I thought I originally was going to do. And this is just a handheld pin drill, and just make a little spot in the middle. And getting through the resin can be quite hard, especially if the resin's cured properly, so I'm pressing down quite firmly on this, and it's going to take a little bit to get through, but you should be able to. You could use a motorized drill if you wanted to, it would go much faster. I'm just going to drill a hole in the top there, and then we're going to attach our bale. Every once in a while just clean out your drill. And the more cured the resin is, the harder this is going to be. So this is a good test to see if you've cured your UV resin correctly. And I leave my piece in the UV light for about 15 minutes, which might be a little overboard, but better over than under. But you can see that we're getting through it, but it does take a little bit of time. Almost cracked through there. And I've just gotten through the resin layer and I'm now in the clay layer, and that should go really quickly. A couple of turns and you'll be through. Just clean up that top bit and you'll see that we've made a little mark on the back. Just go back through that way to clean it up, like so, and then you'll have your hole. Then I've just got a little silver pail here. Go pop that in, bring some pliers over, squeeze it shut, like so. And there we go. You might want to just give it a little wipe down because you'll have fingerprints on that resin. But yeah, there we go. Then I'm going to do the same for these. I'm going to attach bales to the top. And there we go. Got ourselves some little pendants. Then I thought these would look quite nice with a chain, and I want to make it so that I only need one chain necklace and then I can interchange these. So you'll be looking for a small clasp in that case. So let me bring that over. And the best one for that really is a lobster claw clasp. And you just want to make sure that it can slip through your bale, which it can. So you'll then make the necklace independently. And I'm just going to grab one of these chain links and I'm going to open it and pop on my clasp. And that's all I'm going to do. You could add a jump ring to the end, but the clasp will hook around the link as it is. And the nice thing now is that the necklace is adjustable as well, because you could attach it to any of the other links, therefore making the actual necklace itself smaller. You'll just have a little chain extension. And it also means that you can change the pendant that you have. So you could have this one if you wanted to. You just slip the chain through, and there you go, you got yourself a necklace. And you could take that one off and slip these on, and so it's a nice way to not have to use or make multiple necklaces while still being able to utilize multiple beads in a set. I hope that made sense. My words, I am stumbling over them this morning. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed that tutorial. It's quite a fun little technique, and I think I should use the extruder more in my videos. I can't remember the last time I used it. So let me know in the comments below if you would like me to show how to use this tool more often. And if you enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like and a comment. If you have questions, I will answer them as soon as I can. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.